make that, this resistor should match that. So if I want the most power, I should match the resistance there. So suppose I have a 741 op amp, like we have in lab. Suppose that 741 op amp has an internal resistance of about 250 ohms. Okay? Suppose I would wish to connect it to a speaker to make the loudest possible sound I can from that op amp. What value of resistance would I like my speaker to have?
8 ohms.
And where'd you get the 8 from, Bill?
Because most of my amps are 8 ohm speakers.
They're being driven by a different source. So if you had an 8 ohm speaker, is designed, like the driver for that speaker is different than one of these 741 op amps. So which speaker you get the loudest sound from depends on what the driver is. So if the driver has 1,000 ohms of internal resistance, that would be a terrible driver. Okay? Then you'd want to select a speaker that had 1,000 ohms. If the driver has 250 ohms, which our op amp has around 250 ohms of internal resistance, which is not good. That is not a small number. 0.01 ohms, that's good. 250 ohms is fairly substantial. If I wanted to get the most sound, I should connect a speaker that has a resistance of around 250 ohms. If you go into lab and measure the resistance of our speaker, it is not that.
It's like 842 or something.
Have you measured it?
Well,
I think it says in the emails.
most speakers are like 842.
Right, so it's going to be a small number. So what could I do if I wanted a louder sound? I'm stuck with the same op amp. What can I do to some speakers if I wanted to make it louder?
Add a resistor.
Well, if I added a resistor,
No.
More watts, more power.
okay, all true. If I added a resistor, then some of the power would go through that resistor. I wouldn't necessarily get more across the speaker. Oh. Sorry, someone said add a resistor. Increase the voltage, yes, that would work. I can increase this, for example, by taking two 4 ohm speakers and put them in series or put them in parallel? Series. Series will increase the resistance. So if I connected this op amp to 2 speakers in parallel, that actually would make it even quieter, because I've lowered the resistance. I have gotten further away from the 250. If I add them in series, I've now increased the effective resistance. In fact, I've doubled it. So putting the 2 speakers in series will give me more total sound coming out of it. And I could keep doing that process until the total chain of my speakers, total resistance of that chain added up to what? 250. And then if I went beyond 250, it would start to get quieter again, because I would start to get less and less power total. So this idea, although for the group, I'm pointing to them, they're currently on that lab, you'll all get there. By the time you get there, you might not have quite as big a problem. Hopefully next week we've got some better op amps coming in. But I've been disappointed before about when products arrive and that kind of thing. Not the fault of anyone suing the Ulster, just, I'm sure you have too. Things supposed to come in the mail, so get delayed. So we have other ways we can make this sound a little bit louder, and this is a topic we needed to cover anyway this semester, which is the idea of selecting components to get the most power. Very often, that's what you're trying to do, whether it's a motor or a speaker, or whatever you're doing, you're trying to usually do a lot of it. So matching those is important. Okay.